KVGC News Time is now 10 minutes after the hour. Let's check out what's going on in the way of local news for today. In the news this morning, with the warning, escaped residential burn piles continue to be the leading cause of wildland fires. As of today, CAL FIRE residential burn permits are now required. These permits are available to the public free of charge and allow for burning of dry land, landscape vegetation that originates from your property. Assemblyman Frank Bigelow, a volunteer firefighter himself, reminds Foothill residents of the need for fire safety and to be prepared.
This year is going to be a tremendously dry summer. All signs have pointed out that we are going to need to pay particular attention to fire safety around our homes, in our fields, along the streets and roadways. But in particular, I'd like to leave a message for the people. Please clear around their homes at least 100 feet. If they can go farther than 100 feet, please do that. And by all means, if there is a fire and the firemen come, please respect them. Please give them all the due respect that's needed and follow their direction.
To acquire a permit, visit burnpermit.fire.ca.gov. Watch the mandatory video, fill in the required fields, submit the form, and a burn permit will be created. If an online permit is not an option and you reside in the Amador El Dorado unit of CAL FIRE, give them a call for assistance. Also, contact your local air quality management district to determine what permit requirements or burning restrictions apply in your area, and always call to ensure burn day status. In Amador County, the number is 223-6246. For alternatives to burning your piles, contact the Amador Fire Safe Council at amadorfiresafe.org.
And Amador Health Officer Dr. Rita Kerr has renewed the countywide stay-at-home order for an additional 2 weeks. The new order, issued April 30th, hints of relaxing restrictions, which have been in place statewide since Governor Newsom's statewide stay-at-home order back in March. Now, while the order hints at an easing of restrictions, it also makes clear the county must comply with state mandates and that risk remains for exposure to COVID-19. The new order states that its purpose is to, quote, clarify that the attached stay-at-home order can be interpreted broadly and within reason, thereby allowing relaxed restrictions on social mobility and business activity in the community, end quote. However, the order does not list any activities previously banned that are now allowed, nor any specific restrictions that are being lifted. Bars, dine-in restaurants, gyms, and hair salons all to remain closed, while church services, concerts, and other large gatherings are also forbidden. The order goes on to say all people will maintain social distance when outside the home, and preferably use cloth face coverings, that long-distance travel is discouraged, and those participating in activities enabled by relaxation of restrictions are taking a risk of infection to themselves, families, and community by doing so. The renewed stay-at-home order now runs to May 15th.
And the Amador County Board of Supervisors Chair Pat Crew visited the KVGC studios yesterday to share the letter the supervisors have sent off to Governor Newsom calling for the state to relax the stay-at-home COVID-19 order. The letter outlines that 8 cases of COVID-19 have been confirmed in county residents, with several cases affecting residents who have not returned, and that there were no deaths from COVID-19 in the county. The letter calls on the governor to relax the stay-at-home in Amador County to allow Amador's medical officer, Dr. Rita Kerr, some semblance of economic activity while still protecting residents from the coronavirus. Now, Crew said the Amador letter was similar to letters being sent by other rural California counties that had seen limited numbers of virus cases and no deaths. Crew also reported that the committee suggested by Dr. Kerr, made up of government officials and members of the local business community, had already started to meet and formulate plans to start reopening. Both the letter and the new committee have been approved by the board at their Tuesday meeting. Now, according to Crew, if the governor calls and asks, "What's your plan?" we want to be ready with one in hand. As of late yesterday, though, the county had not received a reply or confirmation that the governor had received the letter.
And in the latest daily update, the daily update of COVID-19 statistics from the Sheriff Office, 8 cases still for Amador County confirmed out of 465 tests. 7 of those 8 confirmed cases are now considered recovered. The age groups 18 to 49, 2 confirmed cases, 50 to 64, and 65 plus, both 3 cases. Now in the areas, Jackson, of these 8 cases, 4 are Jackson residents, 2 Ione residents, 1 from Pine Grove, 1 from Sutter Creek. Surrounding areas, Calaveras County still has 13 confirmed cases of COVID-19, 0 deaths. Tuolumne, 4 cases, 0 deaths. Alpine, 1 case, also 0 deaths.
And Ione fire units rolled to a reported residential structure fire yesterday. Ione Fire Chief Ken Mackey reports firefighters were dispatched to a residence off of West Marlette just before noon. Upon arrival of the first units, they found smoke showing from the single-story residence. On further investigation, it was determined to be a working fire in the cabinet mounted by the microwave. Now, this extended into the cabinets and a vent pipe. Mackey said crews were able to quickly extinguish the fire. Damage was limited to the microwave area and some minor extension to the attic. Damage was estimated at $2,500. The cause of that fire is under investigation.
And Calaveras Sheriff Office revealing more details on the investigation of County Correctional Officer Ian Kristensen. Back on March 6th, the Sheriff Office received reports of a domestic violence incident that occurred last year. The victim reported it was a correctional officer that committed the crimes while off duty in 2019. Well, the Sheriff Office took a report from the victim, then contacted the DA's office to take over the investigation. The investigation was done this way to avoid any conflict of interest. Now, after the DA's office investigation, criminal charges brought forth, Kristensen relieved of his position at the county jail. Then this past Wednesday, the Sheriff Office received the info from the DA's office regarding an arrest warrant for Kristensen. That morning around 9 a.m., deputies assisted the DA's investigator with arresting Ian Kristensen for the alleged reports of domestic violence.
And that's a look at local news on this Gold Country Friday morning. From the KVGC News Center,
I'm JD.
And I'm Jim Geedy reporting. Remember, for the latest news, traffic, and weather 24 hours a day, to visit our website at kvgcradio.com.